Hey guys, Mumbles here with another New World video, and today we have a DevBlog to cover, which goes over the future of PvP war and territory, kind of just claiming and just holding territories as such. So this is kind of important because they do want to change the PvP, as well as they don't think it's as good as it should be. They do think it's in a good spot, but I do think it's going to have some place to improve. So let's jump right into the DevBlog here and just see what they have to say. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys like this video. So basically the first section here is just an apology for all the issues they had in war as far as lag and exploits in their vision to have PvE and PvP coexist outside of war. They want these two to coexist, and not only that, but support each other as well. Whether this be crafting, whether this be invasions and wars kind of coexisting somehow, making it easier for one or the other, or making it harder for one or the other, we don't know. But they want them to coexist in some way that kind of helps them support each other. So that's kind of just what this first little part is. Just a sorry about all the issues that we've had. We are currently fixing them. And if you did see the patch that went out yesterday, they fixed a ton of them already. And they are looking to fix a bunch of these in the future. So they are trying extremely hard to get this done and get this really, really well polished quickly, so they can start rolling out the content patches and we can start getting brand new content for the game. So in regards to open world PvP, they feel PvP is okay, but it does have room to improve. They do say that end game PvP has the biggest room to improve, where early mid game open world PvP is pretty solid. The big issue with end game is there is not much reward for experience or weapon experience or anything like that. It's basically that there's no benefit for it late game. It's just something to do, an extra challenge, that kind of thing. There's no extra reward for this. So in the short term, to kind of help this out, they're going to increase luck of PvP flagged people, as well as reduce durability damage when flagged. So this means that you're going to have less durability taken on your armor when you die, and you're going to have higher luck when opening chests and such like that when you're trying to run, especially try to get those high tier tuning orb stuff. You're gonna need items, and that luck is going to help out with those. In medium term, they look in increasing the high watermark for player kills of level 60. So if you're level 60 and they're level 60, you're going to get your high watermark up for getting kills for PvP in open world. As far as long term, they want to have events that fuel open world PvP conflicts in different areas. What this means, we don't know. This could be events at a fort. This could be some sort of pop-up thing where there's an area where something could pop up, maybe the corruption, but you have to be PvP flagged to enter, something along those lines. They are working on fixing to see if your own faction is flagged, because they did say that this is having an issue with whether you want to engage, whether you have backup, that kind of stuff, as well as being able to tell if a spell or AoE attack is friendly or not. Especially for like Ice Storm or the Meteor Shower, stuff like that. They want something that determines whether it's friendly or not. This isn't an instant fix though. This does take a lot of asset changes in the back end. So this isn't going to be something that's pretty instant. What it sounds like, these like kind of AoE changes and PvP flag stuff will probably end up being over multiple patches. We'll probably see like kind of the framework go in, and then probably see the final product after a few patches in the next coming months. In regards to war, keeping a war times the same, where it's happening every 2 days, is kind of what they were going for. This does include a lot of war fatigue, but this means that other companies are going to have to not send in the same group of people every single time. That's what we have on our server right now. It's the same group of people going into war every time, and they're getting kind of tired of it. But at the same time, it's like, you had all these other people here, you just chose not to invite them. You chose to take your own squad over everybody else. So now your guys are feeling kind of laid out and kind of beaten from all these wars. Because the company that did this was the biggest company on their server, and they just took their same 50 guys every single time, and it hurt them. So they are trying to urge companies to try to using different people, pick a squad from each company that applies, all that kind of stuff. They are looking to balance wars from defenders. They should be favored, but they shouldn't be winning 80% of the time. They do want to get that down probably to a 60 or 70% rating. I would assume probably closer to 60, because 50-50 there's no favor, but they do want a little bit of a favor on the defender side, but still give the attackers quite a bit of an opportunity to take over. They want to look at ways into being able to communicate in war what role you are, whether you're DPS, tank, healer, where you're going, that kind of thing. This could be a map where you kind of put a flag somewhere for someone, only they can see it, and they have to head over to that flag, and that's where they're posted. Or you just put in your role, and then the person just splits it up like that. Split up all your healers, split up all your DPS, split up all your tanks, figure out who's doing siege weapons, that kind of thing. This would also have to go into invasion, I would assume, rather than having to join a Discord every single time you go into war and invasion. Because at this point, every time you go into war and invasion, the best way to communicate is by joining another Discord. And it's just getting kind of tiring doing all this. So for territory control, they are seeing a healthy amount of changing between the territories, between factions and companies as well. So they do like the way that this is changing right now. There's not many servers that are all one-sided, and they are trying to urge those companies to not own so much so that the other companies and other factions have a chance to do something. This is seen quite a bit on the really big streamer servers, and the mentality of I want to take over the world kind of thing. And then you kind of push out all the other factions, so even if you don't pay your taxes or you're vulnerable, you're not going to have many wars anyways because you own most of the population on the server. These servers will honestly probably die quicker than the more dead servers because people are going to get bored of just nothing to do. They want to increase the amount of influence an underdog has on a territory to make it harder for the defender to fight back in an open PvP and easier to throw into conflict, and for the possibility of that company possibly being able to take over and make the map more kind of even throughout. Now we have done kind of this thing where in our server where we have sold a couple territories just to make the server healthy, make the server more evenly distributed between the three factions. Now some territories produce a ton of tax, such as Everfall and Windsward, and they want to find a way to distribute this. This kind of worries me because this is going to kind of rotate. Everfall and Windsward won't be the end all be all area for long. I personally think it's going to move towards Brightwood, and depending where the new areas go, it's probably going to go towards Ebonscale or Morningdale because the map's going to move upwards. So depending where those new areas are, I would assume Morningdale, Ebonscale are going to be really, really key areas here soon. And we'll probably see a shift of the market kind of moving to one of those two areas. They did say that new PvP missions are coming, so they are going to be coming into the game, and they do want to see our kind of reviews of these missions, because if you guys didn't know, each area has kind of like their own type of missions. Like they all have like one's like log for wood in Everfall or Windsward, I can't remember which one it is, and the other one like First Light, you have to go hunt 3 lynxes, which is annoying. And being able to have multiple missions to go to multiple areas of the map will, one, split up a lot of the PvP people and have PvP in different areas, as well as give people more variety to do for PvP missions if you don't like a specific one. These changes will start rolling out soon, so we will start seeing these probably in the next couple patches, and we'll probably start seeing the framework for the more long-term stuff pretty quick as well. So I'm kind of excited to see what this goes. I'm excited to see the change of PvP, to see how it makes the map more balanced, because every server has some sort of company, their faction that's pretty much owning most of the server. Now, if your server is smart and they do want the healthy server like ours, like in Eden, they will try to allow other factions to own territories just so that they can be a little bit more healthy and the server could be a little bit more, I guess, evenly spread out. Well, guys, I hope this kind of helps you out in understanding where they're going to kind of go with PvP. I do like the looks of this kind of DevBlog. I like the idea of where they're going to go and making endgame a little bit more rewarding for those endgame players that are just trying to get the endgame content, get the best gear, as well as being able to balance out wars and territory control and all that kind of stuff. It is quite interesting where they want to go with this. I'm kind of curious how well it's going to be and see what they're going to change first and what's going to come in the meantime. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys like this video. I hope this DevBlog kind of helps you guys out with where they're going to go with PvP. Hey guys, have a great day. Goodbye. Deuces, y'all.